Okay, we're going to start out in Google. We're going to type in Sarah Registry or click on the link on my web page. When you get to the home page, you're going to slide down to Species Search. And then on the left-hand side, we're going to change the filters. So to begin with, under Range, click Show All Options and click Ontario. And Taxonomic Group, Show All Options, and you can pick whichever animals or birds you want. I picked mammals. Under the status, I'm going to click Extinct, Extirpated, Endangered, Threatened, and of Special Concern. And under the Schedule status, I'm going to click Everything except for No status. And a number of animals should show up on my right. And that gives me the name of the animals. And then in the bottom right-hand corner of every box, it tells you if they're endangered or special concern, threatened, and what that status means. Now, I think I'm going to go for after having looked at everything, and there are about 12 to 15 options here. I think I'm going to go to the gray wolf. Clicked on that, but that's only one image. So now I'm going to go into Google and type in, guess what? The gray wolf. Having got into there and clicked on images, I'm then going to try and get copyright-free images by selecting the filter on the left-hand side, going over to usage rights, and clicking on Creative Commons. Now, when you're looking for your image, don't just try and look for a beautiful image of your animal, but try and look at the elements and principles of design. Look at the negative space and the elements in the background. It would be nice if you can try and get your animal in their natural environment. So look at the space around an animal, the colors that are used, and also the animal themselves, and see if you can find one that has a relatively simple composition that you could simplify even further. I think I see one right now, this one right here. I then look to see if there are any other images, just to make sure if there were any other compositions that might have worked. The one in the center with the green background might have been interesting too. I didn't like his face as much though. And that one walking might be interesting, although the negative space isn't that great around the animal and there isn't a lot of detail, which means it's already kind of abstracted. Don't pick one where the animal is completely blank in the back, like the one on the left, because we want to take some environment and abstract that as well. The one on the right with the trees making a kind of a U is kind of interesting. But I think when all is said and done, I like the one that I had picked earlier, so I'm going to go back to that one. And in this part, you can just use it as a photo reference and create a simplified line design or a layout in your sketchbook. What I did, however, is I used a free piece of software called Adobe Sketch, which I can use inside my iPad or my iPhone. And I use that to create my simplified image. So when using Adobe Sketch, I open the software, hit the plus sign to select a new file, and then I added what's called an image layer. Selected a picture on my iPad. I had to allow access for that to happen, and I couldn't find it. So it took me a bit of time to find it. There it is, under Recents. I sized it to the size I wanted. I hit Done, which is in the upper right hand corner. Unfortunately, you can't see it right now because of the cropping that happened in iMovie. And then I drag that image below what's called the sketch layer. You can see all these things happening on the right hand side. I then clicked on the sketch layer and changed the opacity. And I think this is going to happen twice. So after I dragged the image layer down below the sketch layer, I checked opacity. I selected a brush, turned it to black. Please make sure, because you'll notice I make a mistake here, I started drawing on the photo layer. What I want to do is draw on the sketch layer. So I'll be going backwards and forwards a little bit. Here I made a mistake, turned it back into a 100% opacity. So we're going to go back down to 45%. I'm going to select the sketch layer this time, make sure that everything's working okay. And then I'm going to zoom in, and I actually did this whole drawing with my finger. I didn't use any specialized drawing tool. I didn't even use one of those rubberized pen tips that you can use to draw, and I just used my finger on my iPad. And I'm actually going to move into speed right here so you can see the drawing happen in a little bit of a faster time. You'll notice when I do this that I make mistakes, so I do go backwards and I'm trying out different lines in some instances and erasing them again by hitting the back button. And in general, I think I struggled a lot with the background, so that's something I'm going to resolve later after I take away the image and see what I have.